Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to start Unit 6, which is Women and Gender in Sports. Um, so let's talk about the origin of women's sports. First, women did not compete in organized sports until the second modern Olympics in the year 1900. Only 12 women competed out of 1,066 athletes, which is a pretty small percentage. And they were only allowed to compete in golf and tennis. Here are some pictures of ladies competing in golf and tennis. In the 1904 Olympics, golf and tennis were removed, and the only women's event was archery, and only 6 women entered that competition. Women's sports were controlled by men who ran the Olympics, and eventually tennis, diving, swimming, and figure skating would be added to archery as women's sports, and they were only allowed to participate in sports that the men deemed feminine. So, probably the most famous female athlete that you've never heard of is Babe Didrickson Zaharias. Um, she might be the best female athlete of all time, even better than Serena Williams. Now, that's hard to say because you don't know how she would be in the modern day where there's lots of women playing sports. But in the 1900s, 1800s, she was an amazing athlete. So she won 2 gold medals at the 1932 Olympic track and field. She won in the javelin throw and the 80-meter hurdles. And there's a picture of Babe throwing a javelin and running hurdles. Again, I'm not going to show you these videos. I will post this on Google Classroom if you'd like to watch them. In 1935, Babe would become the first woman to ever play in a PGA Tour event. She helped found the LPGA and would go on to win 10 events on the tour. In addition to track and golf, Didrickson was accomplished at baseball, basketball, and diving, roller skating, and bowling. And she was extremely successful at all. Unfortunately, in 1955, she lost a battle with colon cancer and died at the age of 45, which is unfortunate because she was such an awesome athlete. And I'm sure she was an awesome person as well. So, second pioneer, Jackie Mitchell. Jackie Mitchell was a pitcher for the Chattanooga Lookouts in the 1930s. On April 2nd, 1931, the 17-year-old Mitchell was brought into a baseball game as a relief pitcher in an exhibition game. Now, remember, exhibition means that it does not count. You're just playing just to see what happens so people can watch. It was a game against the New York Yankees. So I don't know if you guys know who was playing in 1931. There was this one guy named Babe Ruth. He was pretty good. And the guy that hit behind him was named Lou Gehrig, also pretty good, both in the Hall of Fame. So the first batter Mitchell faced was Babe Ruth. And it says that she struck him out on 4 pitches. And then she struck out Lou Gehrig on 3 pitches. Now, later on, Babe Ruth would deny being struck out by Jackie Mitchell. He said, "Oh, no, it didn't happen. I didn't want to hit the ball because I was scared I was going to hurt her," and so on and so forth. So, whether she struck him out legitimately or not is up to interpretation. But the strikeout happened. Just kind of depends on whether or not you believe Babe Ruth or not. And there's a picture with little Jackie Mitchell standing next to Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth. And here's another one right here. So just a few days after striking out Ruth and Gehrig, Mitchell was banned from professional baseball by baseball commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis. Ruth stated that following after... Yeah, so this is what Babe Ruth said after he struck out, or was struck out. "I don't know what's going to happen if they let women play baseball. Of course, they will never make good. Why? Because they're too delicate. I would kill them. It would kill them to play ball every day." So yeah, Babe Ruth was pretty much saying like, "Hey, these women can't play because they're too fragile and delicate." All right, last thing for today, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. This is a league that was created during World War II to fight against well, not to fight, but to gain interest in the United States while the men were all fighting in the war. There's a great movie called League of Their Own that typically we would watch during this unit. That we won't, obviously, because we won't be in school. But if you have the opportunity to watch League of Their Own, it's a really good movie. It has Tom Hanks, Rosie O'Donnell, Madonna, a lot of great actresses and actors in the movie. Once again, Branch Rickey's involved in this. Actually, this was pre-signing Jackie Robinson. So, anyway, Branch Rickey is one of the founders, and Philip Wrigley, who is responsible for Wrigley Gum. So the AAGPBL, over 600 women played in 11 seasons. They played in skirts or dresses instead of baseball pants and jerseys. They changed typical baseball rules. So they played with a softball instead of a baseball. The pitcher threw from 40 feet instead of 60 feet 6 inches. The bases were 65 feet apart instead of 90. The teams were general managed by former minor and major league baseball players. So they would bring back actual baseball players from the time period to manage the teams. Salaries range from $45 to $85 a week, which in the 1930s and 1940s is not terrible. The Rockford Peaches were the most famous team, and they won 4 championships in 11 years. Alright guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope everybody is doing well, and I really hope to see you soon.